What is up mga kumpare? Tara't pag-usapan natin ang pagbabalik ni Kiefer Ravena para sa ika-38th Southeast Asian Games ng Gilas Pilipinas mga kumpare. Balikan nga po muna natin mga kumpare ang sinabi dito ni Coach Tim Cone sa unang laro nila sa tune-up games na wag daw maglalaro ng parang all-star team, sabi niya sa Gilas Pilipinas mga kumpare. Gilas Pilipinas coach Tim Cone reminded the national squad not to play like an all-star team in its series of tune-up games before the 30th Southeast Asian Games. Cone said he already posed the challenge to Gilas prior to its first tune-up against San Miguel Pilipinas on Monday night at the Meralco Gym. Nakaraan pa nga po ito by November 5 po yata mga kumpare, no? Our challenge is to make sure that we are not an all-star team, sabi dito ni Coach Tim Cone. After nilang maglaro noon kontra sa Pilipinas, mga kumpare, ayaw daw niyang maglaro na parang all-star team itong Gilas Pilipinas, lalo na tune-up game pa lang ito. Gilas won over Alab in its first tune-up game but only by 3 points mga kumpare. 98-95 nga ang score, with Junmar Fardo leading the charge with 21 points. But Cone said it is still definitely a work in progress despite the win. Cone admitted there were moments in the game where he felt the team should have done better, mentioning LA Tenorio who was not able to execute a play in the latter part of the game mga kumpare. Cone emphasized that his Barangay Ginebra players should be the model of playing the right way as a team. That's what we are talking about, getting our guys to try and build doing the little things and paying attention to detail. Try to build on that. Obviously, they won't be able to do it right now because they haven't gotten all the detail in and everything. We need our Ginebra players to model it. I was upset at LA in the last play. He tried to shortcut around a screen and that's something we don't do ever. And he did it here with all these guys. I said, LA, you are my model. If you are doing it wrongly and shortcutting, everybody else is going to think that's okay. Our Ginebra guys have to play with extra discipline so that they can really show how we want to do things. Sabi yan dito ni Coach Tim Cone kay LA Tenorio mga kupare. With only a few weeks remaining, Cone said there is still time for Gilas Pilipinas to be able to play as a team and not as an all-star team. We got to bring more than just being a bunch of good players playing together. That's what all-star teams are. Bring a bunch of guys, they have limited practice, they go out and play, they don't have any concepts in terms of defense and not really a desire to play. Defense, we want to go beyond that. Dagdag yan dito ni Coach Tim Cone. We need to be better than an all-star team. And frankly, all-star teams are not very good. They are not a good team. They are a good collection of players. And they are not good team. We need to be a good team, whether we can do that in the short window that we have. It's going to be our biggest challenge. Gilas Pilipinas beat San Miguel Pilipinas 98-95 on Monday in its first tune-up game in the build-up for the 29 Southeast Asian Games. Nakaraan pa nga po itong Monday. The All-Pro national team had to earn the victory as the match held behind closed doors at the Meralco Gym became too close for comfort in the fourth quarter. Junmar Fajardo had 21 points in the win while RR Pogoy had 15 points for Gilas, which led 92-83 in the final 3 minutes, but allowed Alab to close in. Stanley Pringle and Vic Manuel each had 10 points for the national squad, which was without Troy Rosario. Rinaldo Balkman didn't play for Pilipinas. Hindi nga po pala naglaro dito si Troy Rosario, tsaka si Rinaldo Balkman ng Pilipinas mga kumpare. Nangitan natin pinapangunahan nito ngayon ni Jimmy Alapag. Gilas turned to Fajardo in the fourth quarter and the 5-time PBA MVP responded by scoring 12 points in the final. Kahinto alone. Umiscore dito ng 12 points si Fajardo sa final. Kahinto mga kumpare. Dapo naman tayo dito na si Louis Vigil had 18 points and Brandon Roser added 17 points for Pilipinas. At the scores natin is ang Gilas Pilipinas na nagtapos ng 98 points, Fajardo has 21, Pugoy 15, Pringle 10, Manuel 10, Standard Injure 9, Aguilar 9, Ross 7, Thompson 7, Lassiter 3, Slaughter 3, and Tenorio 2, De La Cruz has 2. Alab Pilipinas naman ay si Vigil na umiskor ng 18, Roser 17, Forbes 15, Gray 14, Brickman 10, Domingo 9, and Karakut has 2 points mga kumpare. Yan ay para sa Team Alab Pilipinas. Dadapo naman tayo dito kay Kiefer Ravena. The possibility of Kiefer Ravena coming on board Gilas Pilipinas loom on Monday as the NLEX guard joined the national team on the bench during its tune-up against Alab Pilipinas at the Meralco Gym. Nakita na nga po natin na si Kiefer Ravena ay sumama sa practice ng Gilas kontra sa Alab Pilipinas. Nakaraan pa po ito mga kumpare, hindi po ito latest. Ravena has been mentioned by Coach Tim Cone as a possible replacement for the injured Jason Castro in Gilas lineup for the 30th Southeast Asian Games. Nakikita nga pong mukhang siya ang magiging kapalit dito ni Jason Castro. Cone, though, still has to get a definite answer from the Samang Basketball ng Pilipinas o SBP on whether Ravena can still be inserted in the national team pool or not. Sa tingin ko dapat naman makasama ito sa national team pool kasi maganda ang ipapakita nito para sa ating bayan mga kumpare. The SBP has already submitted the 15-man pool list to the Philippine SEA Games Organizing Committee o PSGOC last October 7 pa po, from which Cone would choose his 12-man lineup for the biennial meet set November 30 to December 11. Ravena suited up for Gilas at the FIBA World Cup at the end of his 18-month doping suspension and is enjoying fine form with NLEX in the PBA Governors Cup. Babalik nga po natin ay yung pagiging suspended dito ni Kiefer Ravena last Gilas Pilipinas Games na 18-month po itong kanyang suspension mga kumpare, pero able na po siya maglaro ngayon. Ravena later said he was told by Coach Tim Cone through team liaison Yvette Ruiz to attend the tune-up match against Alab. He said nothing is definite although Gilas already submitted his name to the SBP for his inclusion to the national team training pool. Sa tingin ko mga kumpare, talagang makapaglaro itong si Kiefer Ravena para sa Gilas Pilipinas. Nothing is final for now. I'm just waiting whatever decision is going to happen. Sabi yan dito ng NLEX guard Kiefer Ravena. I watched the game and tried to be with them as much as I can in terms of mentally present and mentally prepared para pagdating ng practice hindi na sila masyadong mag-a-adjust pagdating sa akin. Ako na lang. Dagdag po dito ni Kiefer Ravena. Ravena said they'll officially start practicing with the team by next week. Ang next week nga po na yan sa tingin ko dapat kahapong Lunes, pero ito po ay nakita po natin kinansela ni Coach Tim Cone sa mga personal na dahilan dahil nga po malapit na ang Governor's Cup. I think yan po ang dahilan dito ni Coach Tim Cone at masyado silang nagpre-prepare para sa kanilang team na Ginebra. If not for Ravena's hurting back, Cone admitted he would have played Ravena against Alab. Kiefer has a back issue after a bad fall in practice, so he couldn't play tonight as well, said the Gilas mentor. I would have played him if he could have played because I think it's just natural and he could have picked up things and played the natural type of game that we would want to see. Yang Giao's offense is very unique, but it got some of the elements that we're doing, so I don't think it's going to be a stretch for Kiefer to learn our offense. It will take him a short time to learn our offense. Sabi nga po dito ni Coach Tim Cone, konting adjustment lang o stretch para kay Kiefer Ravena para matutunan ng kanilang offense. At talagang kakaiba yata ang pagtuturo dito ni Coach Tim Cone kaysa kay Coach Yang Giao. Ano sa tingin nyo? Anong sa tingin nyo mga kumpare? Dapat na nga bang ibalik si Kiefer Ravena para sa team natin na Gilas Pilipinas para sa darating na 30th Southeast Asian Games? At tingin ko mga kumpare, dapat lang ibalik dito si Kiefer Ravena dahil marami nang nakakamiss sa kanyang mga playing styles, lalo na't mga number 1 supporter ng Gilas Pilipinas at ni Kiefer Ravena. Simula pa lang nung high school si Kiefer Ravena at college na siya ay naglaro sa Ateneo ay maganda ang pinapakita nito mga kumpare. Talagang kakailanganin ng Gilas Pilipinas ang isang Kiefer Ravena para sa darating na 30th Southeast Asian Games. Talagang hindi pagsisisiyan nito pag talagang pinasok ulit ito. Yung lamang mga kumpare, shoutout nga pala kay Tams TV. Maraming salamat sa iyo kapatid. Yun lamang po. Ito nga po lang inyo kay Don Don. Hanggang sa muli. Power!